I've lost my passion for a lot of things. I want to live in an imaginary world, or sometimes I want to live in my head, or in a music video. I think reality is overrated. I enjoy fantasy worlds more than I enjoy the real world. I like to spend a lot of time alone, reflecting on my life. It almost like goes through my head like a montage. Every memory, embarrassing, happy, sad. And I always imagine how it could have gone differently, or how much better it would be if this or that worked out. And I kind of fixate on it because it's so much better than taking charge or taking lead of the present. So I rather live in my imagination. I have grown to just partake in simplicity. I've been keeping everything simple. I don't want to think too much about anything. I don't want to overthink my makeup, my hair, my outfits. So I just do the bare minimum. I don't find much love or appreciation for complexity right now. Maybe I'm just broken. Literally. Like maybe something in my mind is literally broken where I'm just like just like I don't want to think. I don't want to think. I just don't. It's exhausting. I, I don't want to indulge in superficialities right now. I don't. Don't get me wrong. I love superficial things. But I just want to drink Coca-Cola and lay in my bed and play video games. If it's not making music, I don't want to do it. I become hyperfixated on one thing and then I lose interest in everything else in life. And I think people think my life is more fast-paced and exciting. But in reality, it's very boring, very simple, very ordinary. I think other people's lives tend to be a little bit more interesting than mine. I sit in a grass field, drink Coca-Cola, and play video games. There's not much to it. There's no crazy, wild things happening, or like some crazy romance, or some flight I have to take and disappear. Most of the time, it's just me by myself, alone. And that's kind of how I like to prefer it. I have been partaking in a lot of retro video games. They take me back to a time where, again, I didn't have to think about things. I had no responsibilities with anyone or anything. I didn't have to acknowledge the world around me. I could just escape and never have to interact. Even in school, I used to do that. I used to daydream so much, and I wouldn't be there. I think I tried my hardest to never have to interact with anyone or anything or any particular person. I'm very good at pretending to be extroverted and happy to talk and speak to people, but honestly, I sometimes dread having to speak to others, having to interact, having to share space with someone else. It sometimes bothers me and itches in the back of my brain. It irritates me that I have to do certain things that involves other people. I can be selfish in the sense that it's when I want to, how I want to, whenever I want to. And the world doesn't necessarily work like that. And many times I've heard, the world doesn't revolve around you. Well, then who do I see the world as? I can't see it as anybody else. I always thought that saying was a bit ridiculous, because if the world doesn't revolve around you, then who does? You can only see it in your vision, in your mind. So I make my own rules sometimes. Sometimes I have to follow other people's rules and interact and be around people, and maybe I'd be a little bit more successful in life if I was more cooperative. But I have this rebellious nature in me. Let's just do things my way. Does it always work out? No, it doesn't. But at least I can say that I'm being myself most of the time. And I feel like a lot of people can't say that. So maybe I'm winning on something.